Happy Father's Day, everyone. My name's Walter Hudson. I'm running for state representative in northeastern Wright County, representing the communities of Rockford Township, Hanover, St. Michael, Albertville, and much of Otsego. Just wanted to chat with you briefly today on this Father's Day regarding the role that we fathers play in our homes and in the larger society. I want to bring your attention here to a piece over at the Daily Wire called Reversing the Trend of Fatherlessness in America. It starts off by pointing out the fact that at least 18.3 million American children will wake up in a fatherless home today. The data shows that these kids will be 4 times more likely to live in poverty, twice as likely to drop out of school, and be more prone to antisocial behavior. Anecdotal evidence and otherwise indicates that boys in fatherless homes will be more likely to also abandon their children as adults or end up divorced. The figures are startling to observe. And indeed, that is a bleak determination. They go on to provide some hope, and we'll come back and talk about that here momentarily. But I just want to speak to that anecdotal evidence that they cite. Of course, what they mean is your experience and mine. Whether you are a man or a woman, a father or mother, whatever position you find yourself in, you've come into contact with fathers and their roles. I know for me, growing up, my mom was no pushover, but the trump card that she had in her pocket that she could play at any time was wait until your father comes home, because he was there, he was in the home, and that made a huge difference in terms of the discipline that I was raised with. And that's always going to be the case. I see the same dynamic play out with my 2 sons and their mother, where she also is no pushover by any means. She can more than hold her own, but there is a qualitative difference, a categorical difference in the type of discipline that my boys are going to get from me versus the type of discipline that they're going to get from her. And it's not a question of worth or effort or ability. It's simply a question of the nature of our genders, the nature of being a man versus the nature of being a woman, the nature of being a son versus the nature of being a daughter. These things are distinct from one another. And despite efforts that have been made in the culture to try to blur those distinctions, the fact of the matter is sons need fathers in the home to show them the way towards manhood, which is more than just being tough. It's more than just being strong. It's about being meek. The definition of meekness is not weakness. It's the idea of power under control. And that's the role, that's the quality that a father is able to exhibit to his boys, which in turn keeps them from developing those antisocial behaviors that were discussed. And so, why talk about this as a candidate for state representative, as a candidate for the state legislature? What role is government supposed to play in whether or not fathers are in the home? It seems like a rather personal area for government to have a say in. But the fact of the matter is that our institutions, including government, have very much had their thumbs on the scale in terms of having policies that have deterred fathers from sticking around, and frankly, have deterred mothers from pursuing the stability that comes in the marital arrangement, in marriage, and in intact families. And that is something we can do something about. And again, turning to that article at the Daily Wire, they go on to talk about that. They say there is reason for hope. In 2022, it would appear, at least tangentially, that there are various efforts found in state and federal government, individuals, and faith-based organizations to solve the crisis of absent fathers. And each plays a vital role in solving the problem. And they also go on to talk about efforts at the state level, such as that led by Governor Ron DeSantis down in Florida. He recently signed a new law that encourages and promotes fatherhood and men staying around with their kids. Florida House Speaker Chris Sproul said, while promoting the law, we cannot legislate fatherhood, accountability, or character, but we can provide supports for fathers to equip and encourage them to take an active role in the lives of their children. And that's precisely what I hope to help do when you send me to the state legislature to represent you this fall. Visit hudsonformn.com. Take full advantage of our state's political campaign contribution refund program, where you can receive back $50 per individual and $100 per couple for your contribution to the campaign. We'll send you that receipt, send you an application, you mail it in, and you get your money right back from the state. It's kind of a nifty little deal. And you can help do this work, do this good on behalf of families in our community and in the state of Minnesota.